Hey everyone, it's Avery, and in this video, I'm going to basically just walk up with the basics of building a package from scratch, from start. So you're going to want to start on one of the computers that has Premiere Pro on it. This could be one of the school computers if you're going to want to open something, the Adobe Creative Cloud, something like that, or you're just going to want to search Premiere Pro in this bar, and then it should come up, and then you should be able to log into it, or you will be able to log into it with your UNTID at school, like physically. Otherwise, you will have to buy it yourself if you want to use it on your personal devices. But yeah, so we have Premiere Pro open. First things first, what you want to do once you have all of your footage is you want to transfer it from the SD card to the actual hard drive. So for example, say this is my SD card. I'll open it up, find the footage, and then I would take that. So you can literally just take it and then drag it and copy it into your hard drive or even one of the computers, like your actual computer up here if you don't have a hard drive. The reason we do this is because we just don't want you to edit off of the SD card and just be really finicky and not fun to work with, and you can lose the progress really fast. So don't do that. Um, so yeah, once you have all your footage downloaded and everything, you're going to start a new project on Premiere Pro. And then you're just going to title it whatever you're working on. So if I'm working on a puppy story, I would name it puppy. This is a bike story, so I'll name it bike. And I'll name it bike workshop. And so, all right, so here we are. And then I already have my bike stuff open, but if I didn't, here I would find it in my hard drive and then find it here, here. And then I'm just going to put in one clip because if I put in all of these, it'll put all of them in my timeline. And I just kind of like to keep things organized by putting in, just kind of using one clip to open it and then going from there. So I import it and then I will just delete this because we're going to actually go in and format it. But before we do that, I want to make sure all of my things are imported. So I'm going to go ahead and import the rest of my footage. So for time's sake, I'm only going to download the one interview that I need. But if I were going to do it, I would download all of these. But for now, I'll just download Mystery North interview. So before you start anything, you really need to format. Formatting is so important because it's how it works with our lower thirds and it's how it shows on TV. It's how everything, there's just so many technical avenues this package has to go through from your laptop to the TV screen to the stream that it needs to be formatted correctly. So do that. You're going to do something before you start and then when you export. So before you start, you're going to file, new, and then sequence. And then I already kind of have this selected. It's going to be HDV and then this. And I'm going to go ahead and put the shortcuts on here as well as the export, even though we haven't gotten to it yet, just so you can see the picture of it, part it, put it in your saved, whatever, for future reference, because it is so important. I just wanna be part of it. So I'm going to go ahead and have that there and press OK. So this is the sequence that I'm working in, the one that I just created. So I now have my sequence. And so from here, I haven't started really writing my script, even though my example script was already previously written. But say in the situation, I have not started writing my script and I just have my interviews and footage to work with. From here, I'm going to just start watching my interviews and seeing what word or what soundbite I would want to use. And so you always want to use like an opinionated soundbite or a soundbite that's kind of humorous or kind of interesting rather than like an informational soundbite because those just tend to be more interesting. So I'll listen to her, and again, for time's sake, I already kind of know the soundbite that I want, which is around this area. And so you can use the right and left arrows on your keyboard to scroll. And so here's kind of where I want the soundbite to start. So I'm going to go ahead and select this as the mark N, and then I'll listen to the phone. Okay, that's where I want it to end. That's about where a good soundbite ends. Either way, don't worry about that, guys. Okay, now I basically have this soundbite. I'm going to basically go and put it over here. And I kind of like, this is just how I organize things. A bunch of other people organize things differently. Also, you're going to want to keep existing settings, again, for formatting sake. But people organize this differently. I like to organize my sound bites in a little bank over here. So let's say I like this sound bite, and then I find another sound bite over here that I like. I'll take that and then put it in this sound bank. And so then when I'm writing, I can just kind of go back to those and be like, huh, okay, I like the sound bite, whatever. I also kind of like to include timestamps in the interview if I don't want to make a sound bite bank. And so I'll find the sound bite and then write down the time and kind of a summary of the quote until I translate it. And then with the information, how I kind of write my actual script is, say she's like explaining, oh, there's in Denton, there's like 3 bike accidents per 3 years. I won't really want to have her say that. I'll be saying that in my voiceover. So, but I'll write that down. So I'll say just kind of like on my script, who's impressed, who's impressed, who's impressed. Oh my God. What do you mean request? So yeah, she says 3 bike accidents per 3 years. So 3 bike accidents per 3 years. Okay, I know how to spell accidents. Continuing on, 3 bike accidents per 3 years. I'll use that, and then I'll kind of use that to fill my thing. So in the script, I actually knew that she said, "Oh, I'm the head of Bike Denton." So I made sure I put in the quote, and then I put in, "This is Susie Moore, head of Bike Denton." Like I say that. And then here is the quote that I picked. So that's kind of how I write and build my script as I go along. So say I have everything chosen out. I have my things over here. Now it is my soundbite chosen, my script written. Now it is time to kind of build the visual elements. And so, or really build upon the visual elements. And so, there is me trying to do some panning thing, and that's why it's not really stable. And so I'll find a nice, at least a decent little pan. It's shaky. Oh God, so much is happening. Okay. All right. Shaky, but you do want to use stable footage. It'll be a nice little pan. Okay. I'm going to arrow back a little bit. And then this kind of makes it easier than cutting in here. I just want to like do it this way. So I have my little B-roll clip. I have my little sound bite. I'll bring it over here, and then I can use this to kind of zoom in. And so here's my B-roll and here is my soundbite. So once I have these 2 things, I need to record my voiceover and put it in. I highly recommend you use the voiceover room. You can even, if you don't want to work with Audition, I highly recommend you do. And just ask one of the tech people or staff to learn how to do it. Then you can use a professional microphone and everything. If you don't want to use Audition, still go into that room and record on your phone. I have had too many times anchors sound like they were doing their voiceover in a bathroom, and it just did not sound good. So I really highly recommend you do use that sound room to your advantage. It is so, so nice. So once I have everything chosen, I have my soundbite or I will go in, I'll do my recording, and then I will import it somehow, some way. So I will import it, and here I have it just kind of downloaded, ready to go, Bikes VO. And so I will kind of do the same thing with I've been doing with my other clips. I'll find out where I start. Okay, and then I will cut it. And then usually I will have a sentence, and so I'll see like it kind of in here, and I'll cut it, and then or I will just put the whole thing in, depends on how I'm feeling. But for time's sake, we'll just put this in here, and then you can drag it. Well, and then you can drag it like this onto. And so since this is so short, I'm going to go ahead and match it. With this, just kind of know that you can drag it in. So is he please? Oh gosh. Now I'm messing up it. Okay. If you mess something, okay, if you're like this, if you end up in this situation, Control Z is your best friend. Ready? Watch this magic. Boom. Now I can start all over from the beginning. Control Z is always your best friend. All right, so I'll go until my explaining is done, and then I'll kind of adjust it. So say the end of my sentence is here, I'll adjust it to here, and then kind of cut it here, and then move this in where it needs to be. So now I have my B-roll, my voiceover, and then my soundbite. So kind of like this. So that's just kind of the idea of it. Now is the kind of another tricky and meticulous part is the lower third. So really quickly, I will go into, I think I already have it in my download, so I'm just going to go ahead and find that. I'm not worried. Okay, I found it. So basically go to your files, find the thing. It should be sent to you via your email. But if not, then we will go ahead and just have it here. As you can see, I accidentally downloaded it again. But yes, if you're working on a laptop or a device that allows Premiere or allows the entire Adobe thing, it should just open Photoshop when you double click to open it. And so that is what it is going to do. And this is a true test to see if my computer will crash or not. But if it doesn't, well, okay, say it did. Make sure you are control S-ing, which is saving throughout your editing process down here because it will not save. Like a traditional old time Word document, it will not save and you will be screwed. So just kind of keep that in mind. And nice. Okay, so we have this open. Remember just kind of write in all caps, keep everything the same. I will put in this. So basically I will type my name or not my name, my subject's name. So this subject is, I think, Susie Rumor. And so I will do SUZIRUMOHR. S-U, think, no. That was so wrong. How did I type that so wrong? Okay. Susie, RUMHOR. Okay. Always make sure your thing is spelled correctly. And then she is the head of the Bike Friendly Extension. So we will put that. Cool. So we have all of that written down. We have all of that in there. We are going to control S, save it again. So then we can export it. So to do that, we're just going to go to File, Export, and then quick export is PNG. Always just quick export. It will be super complicated otherwise. So just do that. Label it something distinct. So I'll just do, work up somewhere you can easily find it. And then after you've done that, we'll come back here, import it into here. And so let's see. Susie Workshop. Awesome. So we have her lower third. Let's freaking go. You are just simply going to place it on top of there. Honestly, usually the allotted amount of time that it gives us, it's kind of perfect. If it's a bit of a longer name, a bit of a longer title, kind of adjust it to make it like reading and you can just click and drag as you please. But I usually think this is pretty good. And you know you're using correct formatting when it fits in there beautifully, just nicely, no issues. Another pro tip that's just like super easy, Control D. It will make it cross divide so that it doesn't just appear out of nowhere and it comes in nice and smooth. So here is what it all should look like once it's together, kind of to give you an idea. So I kind of feeling it out. I probably want to stretch it to here just about, just so you can also listen and read at the same time. But other than that, yeah, I've pretty much created a little package. Okay, so that part kind of sounded like that was the package in its entirety. That was just an example. Once you're done with your package, it should be about a minute long. of just you talking and then quotes in between. The script should be about this long. This is a bit of a longer script because it was a bit of a longer project, but it will be about a bit shorter than this. And then this is my final project. Again, it was a bit longer, but it should look something like this. So it definitely can get a little crazy once you zoom out, but as long as you just keep building upon it, like I talked about, and then same thing with your script, if you just build information and then quote, information, quote, and then just kind of piece it together like any story, you got it in the bag. Now, if you if you feel like it, go for it. I actually heavily encourage this. Never mind, take that back. Do this for sure. This is super, super easy to do. It is called a J and L cut. Let me just kind of show you what that looks like. So, for example, say I kind of like she starts speaking. It kind of just makes it look more professional. So I'm just going to right click and then I am going to click unlink. And you'll kind of see the effect. I mean, it's kind of hard to explain unless I do it, unless you see the end result, but it looks more professional. So I'm going to do that, unlink it, and then move the video this way, along with the lower thirds, of course. And then I will do the same here. I will go ahead and unlink this. And so while the nice B-roll is playing, pretend it is so nice and beautiful or not this shaky mess, it is playing. You kind of hear her speak to kind of introduce herself, and then she's shown. It just kind of looks professional and smooth, and it's something that the pros use. You can also use it the other way. So yeah, this is the side. No, I don't like that. Okay. So that didn't really give it the effect that I wanted to. So I will do this to make it more impactful. So you see how she kind of starts talking as the B-roll is playing and how she's kind of narrating the story alongside you. It's a nice little story element. So I have everything together. I'll make sure I delete everything from over here if I didn't use it because then it'll end up being super, super long. So I have everything. I have my little package. Now I'm going to export it. And this is the last formatting step. Once again, I'll put it up there, both steps so you can take a picture of it and heart it and always keep it in your pocket for reference. So now I'm going to export it. And so I will export it to downloads and then I will name it like work. Stop. Cute. So now the super, super important part is to format it correctly when exporting it. This is important, of course, in formatting it. When you begin, so it's already selected here, but you're going to want to do high quality 1080p HD. And then this is going to be H.264. So you're going to want to scroll down a little bit and find just this regular plain H.264. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And then you can kind of scroll through. If there's extra space here, if there's just black space here, it's probably because you did not delete something in the editing portion and it's still in your timeline. It's probably super small. So that's probably why. And then we can kind of just watch it, see if we're liking it, see if it's good. Okay, cool. I like that. Next, you're just going to export. Don't do this. Just don't. Go ahead and just export it. And then this is when you kind of do your little victory dance. This is pretty much the ending, like, yes, you did it. Is um, then this is the point when you are going to send it to us through WeTransfer, and I will also have to show y'all how to do that. It's super, super easy. It's kind of crazy how easy it is, and it's completely free. I'm non-spawn. I think that's how you say that. Okay. Anyway, you were going to go to WeTransfer simply. So you will WeTransfer. And then you don't have to sign up. It is completely free. Do not pay for anything. If you're paying for anything, you're doing it wrong. Just kind of, it'll probably want to ask you if you want to pay. Don't. And then if you want your computer to not run like an archaic mess, then you can go ahead and close that. And then yeah, basically this is WeTransfer. You're going to go ahead and add your package. And so here it is, Bike Workshop MP4 open. Something you do not want to do, you want to export it this way, always, always. Never just kind of save it from here and just send it that way because that will be the Photoshop file or the Premiere Pro file itself and not an MP4. Has to be in. All right, so you'll email it to the staff. So I will do Avery Collins at my.unc.edu. And then I'll be from my game account. So I'll be Avery Collins. All right, and then I'll say okay. All right. Then I will go ahead and transfer. It'll have you verify your email really quick, and so I will go ahead and do that. And then it will begin to transfer. So imagine I wasn't working on an archaic computer right now. It should transfer instantly. If it's not, then something must be up with your computer. It must be archaic like mine, or the Wi-Fi is just not good where you are at. But basically, once it's transferred, you are all good. You are set to go. Um, you just need to hear back from approval, of course, from the staff. They will be reaching out to you if anything is wrong, and we'll kind of walk you through how to fix that and what to work on in the future. But other than that, that's pretty much the basics of how to put together a package. If you have any questions, of course, reach out to the staff. We have package 8 hours for a reason. And you can come and go as you please. And then also feel free to make an appointment with us for hours as well, kind of like, the professor's office hours, that type of vibe. Yeah, thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful and